Okay, thank you, Marcus. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the December 2021 Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. I'm going to ask you to stand for a second and do the pledge to the flag. And then would you remain standing? Because as I'm sure most of you all know, Rosemary Martin, our longtime secretary, passed away. So I'd like to take a moment of silence for her. Okay?
No, there's harm.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's stand for the pledge if you're able. I
pledge allegiance to the flag
of the
United States of America
and to the
republic for which it stands,
one
nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty
and justice for all.
Okay, thank you very much. I was just, before we start into the agenda, I would just like to say that I first met Rosemary Boyle in 1990 when I was on the planning board. So to my knowledge, I don't know how many years she was before that, the zoning board and the planning board secretary, but obviously over 30 years that I know of. So, everything changes in life, but unfortunately, I don't really know how she passed away, but I know she did pass away. So I just wanted to share that little tidbit with everybody. I know a lot of you know that, but anyway. Okay. Moving on, we have actually a new business tonight. Calendar number 01-21-ZBA. It's from Rome Lane Coal on 201 Henry Street. Proposed commercial activity in an R10 zone for the growing of microgreens in her basement. I'm assuming that, yes, I see your names there. Okay, welcome to the zoning board. Would you like to give us an overall of what you'd like to do? Romelane?
Yes, sure. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hello, Romelane.
Good to meet you all. We've been living here for like 3 years now, and we really like this neighborhood. And it's just this time of the year was difficult for me. I lost my job. I lost a family member back home in Philippines, and I just got inspired to try this microgreen venture as a business because I'm a plant lover to begin with, especially vegetables. And I'd like to promote healthy diets and healthy lifestyle. And I think that it would really help me to become financially stable if this business will be known to the public and to my prospect buyers. So that's why I want to start this business to help me and my family, and hopefully the community as well.
Okay. I know everybody probably has a lot of questions, but the normal procedure would be to set them up for a public hearing at the January meeting. And then if many questions you have, I'm sure they'll be able to answer them. I mean, I'm okay if some people would like to ask a question tonight or two. That's fine, but really the public hearing is the real venue where we would go over that.
Okay.
This is Marco Pinkway. I do have a couple questions. Is there like a, I don't know what you call it, a commercial or agricultural license that you'd have to obtain to grow microgreens in New York, or I don't really know exactly. And I think of microgreens, I guess in my mind, I'm thinking you're growing a garden. And there's no regulations to growing a garden. So how are microgreens different than that?
Based on my research, if you are selling your microgreens like ready to eat, then you would need like a separate kind of license, and they would come out and do like an inspection. I guess it's not as much different with the gardening. It's just that microgreens is done in a controlled type of environment, especially now in the cold. I guess in the summer, in the cold, like warmer months, it's okay to put them outside. But for now, since it's winter, they have to be in a dark room where they can germinate, because you have to make sure the seeds will germinate and produce your product. And with gardening, it's not as much different. It's just that you have to watch for the time that you put in and care for them the same way. Really, you have to water them and everything, but you don't need as much water or as much care as you would in the outdoor gardening.
So it's a year-round business. In the wintertime, it's indoors. In the summertime, it could be either indoors or outdoors.
Yes, definitely. Because they would need light. And for now, the light source would be like the lamp, like LED lamps or things like that.
So grow lights.
Grow lights, yes.
Grow lights. And it's is it hydrophonically done, or is it done in soil, the seeds?
I like the soil. I haven't done anything with water, so we're using soil. In fact, I have a sample here if you want to see.
Absolutely.
I'm curious.
Yes. So you just have a container. This is a wheatgrass, actually. And this one, I didn't put any soil in it, but because it's part of my experiment, I just let it be in this container, like from a food container. And I let it just sprout on its own, and it would normally grow like this. And at this height, you can harvest them at this maturity level. So I would buy seeds, soil, and the container. The container I have is 10 by 20. It's made of plastic. You need 3 of them. 1 to catch the water, the second to hold the seed with the soil, and then the black top to cover it for like a couple of days.
And then the lights on top of the black cover?
Yeah, when they start to show the true leaves, then you put them under the light to become green. Because at first they would be yellow.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm smiling because we did an experiment like that. I used to teach kindergarten.
Oh.
and we did that as one of our science experiments.
How wonderful.
To see
really
what color it would be if it didn't get enough light or water or whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah. You need to give it the right conditions.
Yes. Yes.
You don't like very cold. They don't like very hot. It has to be between 70 to 75. Well, they survive at 68, right? Yeah, about that in our home. So they get the heat downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
How long from when the seeds are planted, germinated, to when you actually have to harvest them?
It's from 7 to 14 days, depending on the kind of seed you have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it can go up to 20, depending.
Mm-hmm.
And you said your grow box is 10 by 20, I think you said?
Yeah, 10 by 20
inches.
In
inches. And one box.
Yeah. 3 trays. 3 trays total.
3 trays equal one
I
planting.
can show them to you also. Can
Yeah,
you give me 1 second?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, so like a show and tell.
Yes.
Yes. So this is like the flat tray that will hold the water
Mhm.
from the tray with soil and seed, so it won't go all around your area and cause a lot of mold. And then this is the top to cover it. So for like 3 to 4 days until the true leaves will come up, then you can start exposing them.
Okay.
Yeah, for my experience, it's been longer, like 5 or 6. But yeah, these are like the main trays that you would need. And
Gotcha.
then like the area that I have assigned downstairs, I just covered it with like a plastic black panda. They call it panda plastic to help them with the light so it won't destroy the crop.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many of those 3-piece tray setups would you have down there?
Right now, because we bought it from a secondhand seller online on Facebook, I think I have like 75 of the ones with a hole, and then 75 of the ones without holes, so they would match up. And then I think another 50 of the big one to put on top.
Okay.
How
Yeah.
many would you use at a time?
Yeah.
How many would you use at a time?
Sometimes I won't use
How many
them.
would you use at a time?
How many?
Yeah.
3.
How many tray setups would you use at a time?
Oh, how many trays would I use at a time?
Yeah.
3 of them.
No.
3.
No.
Three makes one unit, but then you'd have how many units, I guess, out? I mean, you said the floor plan with the space you're going to take up, so we got a good idea of that too.
They're gonna
Yeah.
be they're gonna be on racks. It'd probably be about 30 or so.
30 or so. Okay.
Oh. Right now we have 3 to 4 racks.
Okay. Okay, so these microgreens are grown, and now you're going to sell it. Who's your market? Who do you? I know you mentioned no one's coming to your home. You're going to be delivering them, but who's the market for it?
For now, my target would be the restaurants and juice bars because they really like the wheatgrass and herbs, and baby greens would be for the restaurants.
Okay. Thank you. I don't have any more questions. I'm sorry to monopolize, but I just was curious as to what this was all about. So.
No worries at all.
A couple 3 weeks ago, Peter called me about this individual to come before the zoning board, and we talked it over, and we did go over. I'm sorry, 211-19B. We went over that, and it does show some, gives you some idea of what. And I said to him, I can't speak for the board, but I think hopefully we could kind of come to some agreement on to try and make this work for these people. You know, it's not an outside, use. Basically, it's going to be inside. Of course, during the summer, seems a little different, but anyway, I should have brought this up in the beginning. She did pay her fee, and she also paid the escrow to get on the agenda. So I had similar questions, but I figured we'd just do that at the public hearing, in case other people have questions. Also, I mean, if any board members have questions, feel free to ask if you'd like.
I just had one question about New York State regulations with growing things, and you mentioned in your letter, Mrs. Cole, that there don't seem to be regulations for microgreens.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah, when I spoke initially to the state of agriculture, they said that they really don't require a permit for it, because microgreens, you sell them as a whole to the person, and you don't sell them as ready to eat. They would have to wash it themselves. And if the chefs or anybody want like the whole tray, and then there's really no risk of transmission of bacteria or anything like that. It's very low transmission, or not at all, because not exposed.
Excuse me.
When you cut it and you package it as ready to eat, then that's what they will regulate.
Okay, as far as like sanitary conditions and how the things are packaged?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just Googled when you guys are saying that here, but I Googled our microgreens regulator, and it says at the time it's running, microgreens are not FDA regulated. So I guess they're not.
Okay, that was the only question that I had.
Thank you.
There's no sorry, this is Harmon. No fertilizers or anything like that, chemicals. I know you said in your letter healthy living, so I assume not, but nothing of that sort.
Who's talking? Oh, sorry.
Oh, fertilizers?
Oh, fertilizers. Yes. Some people are using fertilizers, like they mix it with water to help the plant to grow more. As of now, I don't feel the need of doing that because they are growing well. I'm also trying to experiment using a compost, like from the old soil that I have, and trying to mix it. I don't know how I'm gonna do that because I don't have a space downstairs to do that for now, but they really love compost mixed with soil. In my first experiment, they just shoot up really fast.
And
I
then
think that's with everything, yeah.
I assume you reviewed the code section that Gary mentioned, so everything in that you would be able to comply with.
Yes.
As relevant, like inspection by the building inspector during normal business hours, to ensure that you're not expanding your business beyond the 300 square feet or anything. Yeah. So, my other comment is, and again, this is something I think we might have to talk as a board, is if you look at section C, it talks about home gardening, nurseries, and greenhouses, and it's that's for non-commercial use. So I guess we just have to talk about how this is different than home gardening.
Stephanie, are you on?
I sure am.
Okay. So this is probably going to have to be by special permit, I would assume, right?
Yep. It's a home occupation. That's what she's requesting.
Yeah. And obviously the building inspector can stop there to inspect, not unruly amount of times, but he could stop when he needs to stop. Okay. And I did talk, like I said, to Peter and Brian, and this 300 square feet, refresh me, is that the max, or is that over the max?
It says not more than 300 square feet.
Okay.
Well, I'm looking at it.
Or 20% of the floor space. So if it's small. But I think they only want 150, so they're well in the means. I actually didn't do the 20% calculation, but it seems like they're in.
Like I said, I read this a few weeks ago when Peter called me about it, and to be honest with you, kind of slipped my mind a little bit with other things. But anyway, anybody else have any questions they'd like to ask, or would you like to set this up for a public hearing for next month?
I think a public hearing is the next step.
Yeah.
I guess I have a question.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, so am I allowed to start selling before the public hearing, or I'm hoping to? I'm not sure.
Unfortunately, I have to tell you technically no.
No.
Well, I don't know. You know, I could beat around the bush with it, but you need approval really to go ahead and start this. So. Sorry about that. I know the holidays are coming up and you're thinking, I get it. But I would entertain a motion for public hearing January 12th, 2022.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, I'll second.
Okay, Marco made a motion and Ed seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so if you have any questions, come armed with them. You have to go into Village Hall. You know, you have to send out notices to households within 250 feet on this one. I think it's 250 feet. Yes. But if you go into the office, I believe Sharon, right? Marcus will give her all the names and stuff that she has to send out.
Correct. And Sharon's online too, listening.
Oh, okay. And I'm sorry, Sharon. And that's a return receipt envelope that we send out to your neighbors. You know.
Is Stephanie gonna do the notice? Is an envelope?
Absolutely. I'll do the legal notice. I'll have it there probably midday tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So if they want to,
and obviously I'll get it published in the paper. So.
Okay, great.
Just you beat me to it, Sharon. That was my next question. But no problem.
So, I'll email Mrs. Call when I have everything ready.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. I don't really have anything else to discuss. You know, to be honest with you, it's nice to see faces again and sit as a board. And I want to wish everybody a happy holiday season. And you know, we'll see you in next year. Seems odd to say, but see you next year, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. You're welcome.
Can I get a motion to adjourn, Chairman?
Yeah. Yes, I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Mary. Second?
Second.
Second from Harmon. And all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Great. Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Stay safe.
Merry Christmas. Yep.
Thank you.
Peter, Brian, have a good holiday.
You too now.
Goodbye, all.
Bye.
Bye.
Night.
Bye.